couple minutes earlier than I had stated on the system. I do feel like I might be playing Yarn Chicken. I do have another ball of, or actually giant cake of this if I need to, but I'm hoping that will be enough yarn to do what I need to do. So I am doing something called the lacy aligned lacy aligned lotus stitch. So is the volume good? If you could let me know if the volume's good, if my centering's good. This is a diamond painting under here. All right, so it's a single crochet. So this is a cardigan for the Love Yourself challenge. Love Yourself cardigan challenge for Camille's Creations. This is the single crochet row within a V-stitch with 2 chains between everything. So hopefully this is all kind of clear. Oh, hi Leslie. Hi Simply. Oh, Simply Made. I just saw you yesterday, was it? Anyway, so good to see you. This yarn is actually not technically blanket yarn, but it behaves just like blanket yarn. It's called Cover Story. It's 100% acrylic. There's everything you need in the description box about the stitch. It's not, it's just a stitch pattern, I believe, by Nordic Cook, but it's, yes, it was yesterday. So it's nice to meet you. Again, thanks for stopping by. But my challenge was, because I wanted to use this yarn for a cardigan, I needed it to be a pretty open stitch. Otherwise, first of all, this would be very heavy. And secondly, it would be really hot, right? Hi, Camille. Glad you're here. Leslie, I believe, is new to me. Or I might not have remembered, because there's been some new people in the chats lately. But I needed a nice lacy open stitch because I did not want it to be too heavy. Now, some people will use blanket yarn in a top, so then it's like a weighted, it feels like a weighted blanket almost, that you could wear a weighted blanket, which this totally would. If I had done even just like, let's say, straight double crochets, this would have very much worked as a weighted blanket. Yes, you're new. Nice to meet you, Leslie. Okay.
That's what she said.
Do you, in the chat, now Camille might be responding to you, and I might not be able to look at the chat consistently, but what are you all stitching? What are you all working on? What craft project, crochet or knitting, or I also paint, or are you woodworking, or what are you working on? What craft are you working on? Oh, hi. Zeklov, I wonder if that's German. Are you new? Zeklov you? All right. But so again, if you wanted to feel like you were wearing a weighted blanket all day long that is so soft, because this works up like blanket yarn but feels like chenille. It is so soft. It's called Cover Story. It is a super bulky, But I am suspecting I'm playing yarn chicken a little bit here because this is all I have with this ball. I do have another ball if I have to, but I'd rather not open up that ball if I don't need to. Or cake, I guess it is, because it's big round cake. It's 2.2 pounds in one cake of this yarn. We looked last night. It is available on covers. Sorry, it's called Cover Story. This is colorway Jasper. It is available at walmart.com. So if you're in the States, that would be available to you. Yes, 100% polyester. I believe that's correct, which is why, again, I wanted to go very open stitch. You can see big giant holes in this stitch, and I'm using a 9mm hook. That's the recommended for my sleeves. Let me grab a sleeve real quick. For my sleeves, oh, no, that's the back panel. For my sleeves, I did a 12mm hook because I wanted really big holes on the sleeves to make sure that the sleeves were not overly heavy or too warm. But yes, it is 100% polyester. It is so soft. But if you need natural fibers, obviously that's not this particular yarn. But that's why I have made the decision I did about the stitch being very open, because otherwise I would be so... Oh, knitting a blanket. See, I don't know how to knit. I'd like to learn how to knit because I've used the knitting loom, but it's on the list of things I'd like to learn. But I do love to paint as well as crochet, but crochet is what I'm most prolific at, I guess. And that's what I do most of the time now when I'm not babysitting my grandbabies. I started a C2C. Oh, with the... See, isn't that so cool, that C2C with the popcorn stitch that Camille's doing? I love the way that you're getting all that corner to corner structure, Linda, but then you all... Or texture, but then you get the popcorn texture too. It's so awesome. I really think I'd like to try to figure out how to, like, almost do that so that it looks like Legos. I know that's a lot of color changing, and I think I could get them to line up right, but I don't know. It was just a thought I had watching Camille do it. But yeah, yes, that was my first hand knitted project. Okay, good for you. And you like to paint. What do you like to paint? Scrap. Oh, you're doing scrap cakes, Linda. Oh, or are you suggesting scrap cakes to me? Because that is brilliant. And then what I was going to say, oh, what do you like to... Let me pay attention to what I'm supposed to be doing here. Okay, this is the lotus stitch part, so I need to go all the way over here. What kind of things do you like to paint? Simply, and I don't know what to call you. Oh, Chef Lori, hi. Hi, Chef. Yes, this is a random... Hi, Bridget. This is a random... vertical live I'm trying out, showing... I really would like to finish this panel. We'll see. I think I have a cold or something, so we'll see how long I can last this evening. I took some cold medicine, and that is helping. But all day I've been blowing my nose. Right now I'm good because I took medicine, but we'll see how long. I'd love to get the panel done, but I am still kind of concerned that I could be playing yarn chicken with only having this much of that ball or that cake left. Now, it did start as 2.2 pounds of yarn, so that means if I use the whole cake on this cardigan, that means my cardigan is going to weigh 2 pounds. So, you know, that's not crazy heavy, but that's a weighty item. The cardigan I made for my sister it weighed a bit. It was actually the granny square flowers at the bottom that were 3-dimensional that really weighed it made it heavy at the bottom. But that was kind of nice because then it pulled open the stitches. You like to paint landscape. Okay, so I like paint. Oh, you finished your dress. Nice, Bridget. I did a landscape. I guess it'd be called landscape. You know what? I'm going to redo that one. I did a landscape, I guess, of one of the haystack rocks up in Oregon, out in the ocean, because it was a special place to my father and my stepmother. So I did a painting of that based on photographs. But I haven't done a ton of landscape. I've done a fair amount of trees and flowers, but landscape, not so much. What type of landscape do you like to paint? And I'm so excited for you, Bridget, that you finished that dress. Is that's the is it the sweater dress or your wedding dress, or is your wedding dress already done? It's the sweater dress, right? All right. All right. This is the one thing I've noticed. My 12 millimeter, I didn't, because this is kind of so soft, it slips out a little bit. My hook does. The 12 millimeter, for some reason, maybe the neck was longer. I didn't slip out of my stitch as easily. And let's see what we got here. Yeah, it is. Yeah, your wedding dress is done. So it was the sweater dress. Okay, that's what I thought after I said that. I was like, oh. Oh, and just for fun, guys, I'm actually coloring my hair too while we're sitting here, because I use this product. It is a conditioner, and it just deposits color into your hair, so it's not like dyeing your hair, but my purple was looking a little light. This is the pastel purple, so it's a little lighter. The vibrant purple makes it really, really quite purple. This is kind of a silvery purple. Well, you can see that's kind of the color that my hair is if you look at any of my other videos. But yeah, so your sweater dress, that's exciting that you got that done. Was that yarn you spun? I can't remember, Bridget. I think it was. Or it was spun for you. I can't remember. There was something special about that yarn you used. Or it was a de-stash, which y'all know I need to do that too. That was part of why I chose this as well. So it's, yeah, there's that lotus stitch. You can see it looks nice. Now, on these puff stitches, the pattern calls for, I don't know, you're yarn overing, a lot more. I am only yarn overing, going through, yarn over, go through, pull up loop. So twice. So these aren't near as, it's bamboo. That's okay. By Bella. Okay, so it was done for you. That's what it was. I knew it was special yarn. I just couldn't remember the whole thing. And it is part of your stash down. So yeah, so this is, because I figured if I'd really lose it yarn chicken then, right? I needed to just make these puff stitches not like giant. Because again, part of my goal was to make this so it's not crazy heavy. Oh, this is where I have to do the treble crochet. It's the only part of the pattern that has a triple crochet, which is so funny, or treble, whichever you use. If you're curious or you want to, sure, you can type whether and where you're at. Oh, Linda went ahead and dropped her link. If you're not subscribed to Linda, Linda shows beautiful work. Is that 4? No, it's fine. All right, we're going to turn it. All right. I cannot tell you how soft this yarn is. I mean, I understand a lot of people don't like the polyester yarn, but man, is this soft. Now it's just kind of basically a window pane stitch, but I'm having to go into the spaces created between the puffs and then the right here. So, and then chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. And then right here, oh, see, I chained 2 there. I should have just chained 1 there. That's fine. See, that's how I lose it. Yarn chicken, doing extra stitches. Did I do a double crochet? Yes, I did. Okay. Is it staying on screen all right? Oh, yes, do check out Linda for sure. If you don't mind, click the link or double tap if you're watching on a mobile device. Double tap and it will thumbs up. I don't know that I can do that from my device without it getting all wonky. And then please check out, hopefully it will go. Hopefully I don't have it set up for too much gap in between. So Linda, I'm going for some yarn. Oh yes, definitely throw yarn in Linda's window. She's got a goal. I think she's approaching a goal. She does diamond painting as well. She's been doing diamond painting before diamond painting was cool, is how I would describe it. Oh no, do I have a yarn tangle again? Last night, this was what slowed me down. Okay. Yes, there it is. Okay. All right. Try to do that on screen as much as possible. Hopefully this isn't causing anybody too much stress watching the yarn untangling. Oh, I should call my husband up here. He's really good at it. Untangling the yarn. He's an expert. And you could all listen to him talk. I could have him put on his accent because he's from Northern Ireland, which is not the same accent as like if you're from Dublin, which would be like a Richard Brogue, like U2 is from Dublin, if you like them as a band. So if you listen to them speak, that's a different accent than he has because he's from Belfast, so that's a whole different accent. Just like, you know, different places in our country, right? Sorry, you're having to watch me do this again. Gosh darn it. This happened to me last night too. I thought I had it squared away. I guess I did not. Get enough yarn to do a row. My goodness. Well, this is because I did not have a big enough yarn bowl or container of any kind to hold a 2.2 pound cake of yarn, of big yarn like this. I suppose, can you imagine what would a 2.2 pound cake of yarn look like if it was like a 1-weight yarn or a 2-weight yarn? that would be giant. Like, what would you even be? Gosh, how many yards would that be? This 2.2 pound cake was 547 yards, but again, it's very thick yarn. Oh, Simply Mate's back. Hello, glad you came back. Oh, hi, Anne. Nice to see you. So I'm making this. I'm detangling to get myself some yarn to make another. I'm really hoping I do not lose that yarn chicken here. So I do have to make this panel pretty long to match the other one. This is the front panel. I have all the other parts. This is my last part of my cardigan that I need to make. But that's all the yarn I've got left. Looks like a lot, but I'm not 100% sure I'll make it. But we will see. We will see. Oh, and what I was saying. So this, I'm coloring my hair right now too. And by that, I mean, I put this conditioner in my hair and I let it just sit there. So, okay. And I don't know how to join the chat. So, Camille, if you want to do Weather Denver, that would be great. I don't live in Denver, but I live close enough that that's approximately the same weather. It feels cold today, and I think that's part of why I don't feel all that fantastic. But okay, that's probably enough yarn for me to do at least something with. All right. I don't know. I interrupted myself so many times. I have no idea what I was saying. Where am I at? I need to go back. I did not do enough puff stitches in that one. Oh, because I was already on to the next row. I'm a dork. It's all right. It's all right. See, that's what happens when you forget what you're doing because you're untangling your yarn. But anyway, that hair color, they have all colors and they have brown formulas. Like if you have brown hair formulas as well, and it's just a conditioner. It smells like Wrigley spearmint gum. If any, this is a diamond painting I'm working on. Wrigley spearmint gum, if you like that smell. And it feels so nice. It makes your hair so soft too. But they have all the different colors. They have brown hair formulas. Oh, that was not a puff stitch. Oh my goodness. I'm talking too much. Don't see that. No, I'm doing double crochet. Oh my gosh. Okay, I will get my crap together here, guys. I promise. There we go. I'm on a window panes row, which is double crochet and chain one. With knitting, is it true it's just knitting or purling? Or is there more to it than that? That's what I've heard. But again, I've only used the knitting loom, and that's all I've encountered on the knitting loom. And some two togethers. I did learn that on the knitting loom, but I don't know how similar. Oh, hi, Mandy. All stitches are made from knit and purl. Okay. Okay. See? So I have confidence at some point I could learn that when I want to. And thanks for the hearts. Okay, where am I at? Oh, I'm at the end. So I need to go right there. My stand on screen all right? I feel like I just went off screen there for a second. So you can see the beauty of blanket yarn is that it works up really fast. I can tell sorry, banged the camera a little bit, which camera, aka my phone. Live in, yes, Camille is live at, yeah, an hour from now. Yes. Yeah, an hour and 4 minutes. And then Bridget's live a little bit, or before that. I can't, no, is that tomorrow? Maybe that's tomorrow. I'm confused about it right now. Okay, so this is a traditional blanket, or sorry, window pane stitch. So I will just, I did the chain 4, and then I'll go in the top of that double crochet, and chain 1. And then into the next one. And I just need to make sure to not pull too tight, because sometimes on these window stitch pane rows, I pull too tight, and then it kind of like pulls it together a little bit too much. Or my tension changes, I guess, because it's a simpler stitch, I guess. All right. I'm sorry I don't have any music in the background. I forgot to get that set up on my computer. Because I know there's YouTube allowed music that I could have done, but 8:30 Eastern, okay. On Mel's channel, that's right. How I know she's so she's close on subscribers and hours. Okay. So she needs both. And I know lives really can make a big difference. Oh, shoot. Bridget, I thought you were a mod. Since I'm on my phone doing this, I can't set you up to drop the link. Maybe Camille could drop that link. And then, Camille, are you working on your cardigan or are you diamond painting tonight? Anybody else that's here? Oh, Simply, do you? Yeah, right? They're so hard to get. Okay. Simply, are you, do you diamond paint as well? Is that something you've tried out? I only tried it because a lady named Charlene, or her channel is Creatively Crafty Me. She gifted me a diamond painting, which that's what's this. It's a lighthouse. I don't know how easy that is to see, but because it's got the plastic on it, which last night I had the plastic off because I was looking at something and my cat stepped on it. And of course now there's little furs all over on the sticky part of that diamond painting. I'm like, oh, thank you so much, kitty. She was trying to join me while I was setting up this live, but then she took off when I actually went live. So she's a goofy little girl, but anyway, okay, so let me see where I'm at. I did 2 windows. So this next row is different. So again, you can see I'm not even doing it like perfectly at all, and it's going very fast. So this starts with a single crochet, and then, oh, you don't really like it. That's fair. That's fair. I think I definitely like crocheting better. And I even like my knitting loom better, but I do like a break in this particular craft with the diamond painting, because it's so different. But I like real painting, so let's see if I can not have an avalanche. The other night I had an avalanche of papers that came down. This is something I painted. I like to do things like this. So I take a wine bottle or some plastic bottle and then reuse it, and then I use that as a vase. So that's the kind of thing I like to do when I paint. But so I like real painting, and I just did a real painting the other day. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It was fun to do. Was that an art Sherpa tutorial, or was that one just from, I can't remember. I can't remember if that was a tutorial or not. Obviously, putting it on a wine bottle was me. I have, and it's just, I know it will cause an avalanche if I grab it, so I'm not going to grab it here. But I have a paper mache pumpkin that I got from Joanne that I painted Van Gogh. It's kind of a mix of Van Gogh sunflowers and Van Gogh Starry Night. So I like alternate mediums instead of just canvas. I like to paint on canvas too, but yeah, I like to mix it up, which is part of, like, I mean, making a cardigan out of blanket yarn feels a little crazy at moments. So I'm going to have to detangle some yarn again. Now that is being picky. Okay. All right. But I think if I can get this tangle out, that I will get a lot of yarn and not have to do this again in the next 5 minutes. I might win at Yarn Chicken. I'm still not convinced. I might have to break into that other cake. Well, we will see. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. Do you paint from reference photos? I'm curious, Simply. And then Camille, double tap your phone. Yes, thanks for that, Camille. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, if you're interested in crochet. And that's mostly what I do. I do some diamond painting, and I do yarn hauls, yarn management. Because recently I got more yarn than I've ever had in my entire life. And it sounds like I'm about to get a bunch of yarn gifted to me from my friend, because unfortunately her mother passed and her mother had boatloads of yarn. So her mother did beautiful work. Her mom did thread work and stuff like sorry, I'm not on camera. Her mom did thread work and stuff, so just gorgeous. So I don't know what's all going to be in that, because her sister, my friend's sister, does not do the yarn arts. I had already been gifted probably 30 skeins of yarn from my friend's mom when her mom was kind of destashing. So, and that was a couple years ago, or a year and a half ago. Maybe it was 2 years ago. Anyway, so I can only imagine now that. So my friend is probably going to have her entire car full when she comes back with that. But right now she's helping her dad, her stepdad, get, is basically her dad, get all settled in. Because he is 96. And so he is getting settled in a residence because she was the caretaker. But my friend is there until that is taken care of, I guess. Because out of state. So anyway, I am about to get gifted even more yarn. So I've really got to get my yarn under control. And if you've seen my yarn, you know that I'm not kidding. I am not kidding at all, especially because, again, I've purchased more yarn than I've ever owned in my whole life. And then I keep getting gifted yarn, which I'm never going to complain about that. I just need to get it under control, organized, so I know where it is. This yarn that I'm using is truly stashed down. So Bridget has a whole stash down 2025. Because I've had this yarn for probably 2 years with the intent of making something for myself, and I'm finally doing it. Thanks to Camille and her Love Yourself Cardigan Challenge. That is in the description box if you're interested. But yes, I bought this yarn with the intent of making something a wearable for myself. And again, it's probably been 2 years and I did not do it. So thank you, Camille, for forcing me to, not forcing, but you know what I mean, to actually do that and make something for myself, because most of the stuff I make is for other people. I don't know if you all are the same. This yarn, or you mean the yarn, the amounts of yarn that that I have built up in my home? It's possible that might have already happened, Camille. But not this yarn. Not this yarn. This yarn is, it's going to its intended purpose, which was to make something for myself, something to wear for myself. But yeah, picking my stitch was the hardest part, just simply because I needed something lacy enough that it wouldn't weigh like a ton or use a ton of yarn or just be too hot. Because Colorado, you know, yeah, we get kind of cold, but we don't get like super cold. So yeah, that would have been, if I had done, let's say, a straight double crochet for the whole thing. Oh my goodness. First of all, I would have probably used both cakes. And secondly, that would have been, it would have weighed 4 pounds all on its own. And it would have been so freaking warm. Like if you were up in Alaska or something. Okay, so I will give this example. I made a sweater from puzzle yarn. I don't know if any of you have ever used Premier puzzle yarn, but it's very warm, and I believe it's 100% acrylic, so it does not breathe. So I made this sweater and it looks great because it's self-striping. Puzzle yarn is. They do have solid puzzles now. They didn't used to. Okay. Got to untangle a little bit here. It's not too bad. I think I can get the yarn pretty quickly here. But anyway, so I made it, and because it was for a friend's son's graduation, and everybody was saying, oh, he was ready to go to school in Alaska now because he had that, or college because he was graduating from high school, because that sweater was so warm. But he loves it, and when it gets cold here, it gets really cold here, so. But I was like, I learned from that. I knew for myself I needed something less intensely warm. So that's why I picked this really lacy. Sorry, that is my phone, just so you know. Bailey. Oh, Bailey. Okay, I will remember that. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being here, and I will call you Bailey. And I think I've already thrown yarn in your window, but I'm not sure. You might already be gone, but anyway. All right. And Camille, you just let me know when you need to head out, because I'll probably just finish up then. And send people over your way. Of course, Bridget's probably already gone. I don't know how long I've been on here. I do not have any sense of time when I'm crocheting, by the way. I don't know how many of you are like that. I could be crocheting 30 minutes or 3 hours, and to me it feels the same. It doesn't feel the same to my rear end, but to everything else. All right. Because I also need to hop in the shower and rinse out this hair color. Okay. 1, 2. I have a little bit different setup than I had with my fingernails, so I don't know if it's as good, but it's definitely better than, as far as, oops, I don't want to do that. As far as, it's better than last night. I think you can see me stitching a lot better today. Is that correct? Rolling with Rosie. Oh, hello. Oh, Bridget, you're still here. See, again, I have no idea what time it is because I'm not, I can look. Let's look. It's 6:11. Okay, you've got a few minutes. All right. But hi, Rosie. What am I doing? The cardigan with a blanket yarn. That's a little crazy, right? But yeah. All right. Okay. Oh, wait. I'm at the end of the row. So don't chain one. This is such a weird part. It's the only place in the whole pattern that has that triple crochet. Or treble, whichever you like. It's all about the base, right? All right. Is this, this is pretty good. You can see me stitching, all right? I'm kind of looking, and I'm at the screen, and I'm kind of looking at my work. I'm trying to find the balance. All right, we're whipping through this. I've about doubled what I had from last night. Blanket yarn cardi. Yes, it's kind of fun. Okay, so what I would say, Rosie, if you want to make a blanket yarn, this stitch is great in terms of being open. Now, if you want to make one for someone smaller, you could probably just do straight up, like I would do double or triple crochets, like back and forth or whatever, however, maybe with a yoke. Because being that small, you wouldn't have to worry about that weight as much. But yes, this stitch is great if you want it to be kind of airy. So there's the panel that I'm matching. So you can see. But you would probably only need, and I'm using, this is a 9mm hook. And there is a blanket. Okay. So it's in the description box, this stitch pattern that I'm using. And then you could kind of work it from there. So this row that I'm just going on, that last row was the lotus stitch, but I didn't do as many yarn overs for that puff stitch. And now I'm basically doing a window, is it called a window pane stitch, I think, where you chain one, double crochet, chain one. I said that backwards from what it is. You double crochet, then chain one, but, and then I kind of go into the spaces created on the last row. But did I do a chain one? Yes, I did. But this is called Cover Story, this particular yarn. It is so soft. It works up like a blanket yarn, which is great. And then but it's soft like a chenille, but it doesn't have the, the issues that chenille has sometimes. Sorry, I gotta detangle again. I'm at the end of my cake. See, I'm playing yarn chicken. I don't know if this is going to be enough yarn. We'll see. We'll see. It might be. But I'm playing yarn chicken a little bit. But this is the Cover Story is a 2.2 pound cake of yarn. Yeah, so this is 2.2 pounds, and I am on the last panel. This is a front panel. I've made it kind of extra wide. I do have another cake of it if I really need to, so I'm not playing true yarn chicken, but I'd really like to not break into that other cake if I don't have to. The nice thing about, oh my gosh, if you're making it for a kid, for your granddaughter, you can definitely get a whole cardigan out of one cake. Easy. And they do sell it at walmart.com is what we discovered last night. Or Lion Brand, but it was cheaper at Walmart. So, yeah. And it was like, I think it was 20 bucks. Was it 20 or 24? 25. It was either 20 or $25 for the 547 yard, 2.2 pounds, which is enough of a super bulky, right? 6. That you could easily make a whole blanket out of one cake. You can definitely make a child's cardigan without a doubt. Because I'm making an adult cardigan, and I think it's gonna be fine with just one cake, which is awesome. Because I have 2, because I thought it was gonna take 2, but because I did this nice big lacy stitch, and then just kind of adapted it. Because I was using blanket yarn, obviously changed the hook size and all that stuff. All right, hopefully that's the right spot. And this time I didn't pull too hard, because sometimes on I don't know if any of you do that, like when you have one row. Yeah, see, I did a little bit. My tension tends to change a little bit with these simpler stitches, so it kind of pulls it in a little bit, but you can see that lotus stitch there. It's so pretty. And then it creates these nice big holes, so this is nice and breathable. You've made a blanket with the Cover Story. Okay. See, if I can have that whole cake left, which I think there's a good chance I will. I know I turned that the wrong way, didn't I? It's all right. I think that keeps tilting up and showing my diamond painting more. All right, that's all right. Okay, so what row am I on? Hold on. Another window pane? No, this is window pane. All right, but this is the traditional one. And 2 Bernat blankets. Okay, so it take the 2 Bernat blanket yarns. It is softer. It's so much softer. Like I said, it's all the qualities of a blanket yarn, but it feels really close to a chenille without having the shedding problems. Look, there's no shedding. Like, I don't know if any of you have worked with chenille, but man, it can shed like crazy. It's so nice. I bought it with the intent of making this for myself, and I'm finally doing it thanks to Camille's cardigan. Love Yourself Cardigan Challenge. Oh, I put that in the wrong spot. Try that again. This row is go into the stitches. And I gotta loosen my tension a little bit because I can tell, again, when I do these simpler stitches, I think I'm pulling my chain down too tight. And so then it pulls in the row a little bit more than I want it to. It's very easy to get into and see your stitches with this yarn as well. I worked with some furry yarn, kind of furry-ish. I don't remember what the name of it was. And oh my gosh, I had to feel for the stitch every single time. I will take this over that any day of the week. All right. All right. I gotta untangle a little bit again. It's better than it was. Before it was like truly a tangled disaster. See, I could have asked my husband to come up and do this for me. He's very good at it, but he's down making dinner, I think. So I'll let him do that instead. All right. So yeah, I'm loving working with this yarn other than this part because I moved my work around, and when I move my work around, I always end up with these messes. Because I was working on it downstairs, and now I'm back in my craft room, and that movement. And I didn't have a yarn bowl, obviously, big enough for this giant cake. You know, it's huge. And so it kind of got wound around itself. If I would have been better at keeping the yarn band on it, it would have been better. That's all right. Let's go with that amount of yarn for now. You can see I've made quite a bit. Just, well, because I only had about that much. And I've more than doubled it. Just sitting here with y'all. Oh, thank you. I will have to check you out too. Rosie, do you have a channel? Yeah, and you can throw Camille some yarn too. That would be great. But yeah, I'm loving this cover story yarn. I'm not I don't dislike blanket yarn, but I'm not a huge fan. This yarn is fantastic. It's so soft. And like I said, you're like getting the benefits of feeling like chenille without all the problems of a chenille. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you all have better tricks with chenille than I do, but there would be definitely, if I was using actual chenille yarn, there would be little fluffs all over the place. Because it just sheds. It just does. All right, so that's 2 window pane rows. So now, you do. Okay, so Camille just demonstrated how you can hooker 24/7 because I think it's funny. That's how you do it. All right, so now I'm back to so it's I guess it's technically a 4-row repeat, this pattern. I'm back to the one where you do a single in the first, and then chain 2, and then you go not to this space but to this space and do a V-stitch, which is the double crochet V-stitch with the 2 chains. So it's on this row, it's always chaining 2, which is why I sometimes make a mistake on the next row. Sorry, I was kind of out of focus there. All right, in here, single, chain 2, chain 2, up, yarn tangle. So I will definitely check you out after I'm done. Camille will be live right after I'm done. I will click out a few minutes before 7, and her live will start at, well, sorry, 7 Mountain Time. Depends on where you are. So that'd be 9 Eastern Time. I don't know which. And she's 8 Central, so. Is it really that late? Wow. Day got away from me a little bit. That's all right. Sorry, I was doing that off screen. I guess my hands should at least be on screen, right? Although if you want to see a picture of what it looks like in my hair with this color conditioner, you can go to my posts or community, what used to be the community tab, and you can see I did a before, during, and after picture. It's not a traditional hair dye, like I said. It's just kind of color depositing conditioner, and we'll try not to weave that hair into there. It's probably just mine, but you know. Oh my gosh, the last thing I made, I swear, half my head of hair is in that blanket. It was a little corner-to-corner baseball diamond. And it was only 20 inches by 20 inches. It was, technically, I made it as a lovey. Holy moly. So much of my hair. I kept having to pull it out. Not of my head, but out of the blanket. All right. Oh, so sorry. My goodness. All right. Where am I? Right there. What stitch am I on? The single. All right. So then I did chain 2 and then skip that gap and go in there for my V-stitch. Chain 2, V-stitch, chain 2, and then into the top of that stitch. So you skip that gap. And this is a single and chain 2. So that's part of this stitch. Now that nordichook.com, that this stitch is, like I said, it's in the description box. It is the most truly step-by-step pattern I've ever seen in my entire life. And it looks like all of their patterns are written that way. They tell you what to do, and then they show a picture of it. They even show you a picture of what does it look like to chain. But you definitely don't have any concern that, like, they show you exactly where to place the stitches. It's very thorough. Like, if I was just learning and that's what where I went to first, man, that would have been way more straightforward for me as a learner. But I learned from my grandma, but I only really started crocheting items because I don't remember what I crocheted with my grandma. I think I crocheted snowflakes or something like that, or maybe little Christmas trees or something. But oh wait, oh yeah, that's right. That was a single, right? I'm going to go back just to make sure I did that, what I wanted to there. I only started crocheting items in my very first blanket was in 2021. I'm kind of doing something I do to help with the worming there. Okay. So in 2021, I made my first blanket. The very first blanket was a yarn similar to this. I cannot remember exactly what yarn it was, but I remember the colorway was named Succulent, which I thought was funny because it was like pinks and greens. But I was like, pinks I don't associate with succulents. But anyway, it was very trapezoidal because I didn't know, got to watch your first and last stitch and all that stuff. And I did it from a YouTube tutorial. And then I started making blankets all the time. Once I literally pulled that first one entirely out. I frogged the whole thing. And then did it again and then figured out what I was doing wrong. And then I've been going since I started my YouTube channel because of Armchair Chef Lori. She had something called the Mystery Yarn Challenge. She can't do that anymore because it is a lot of work. I don't think any of us really had any idea how much work that was until she had to take a break or let it go, I guess is a better description, because it's just so much work. But anyway, so I decided to make a channel in end of July of, what year was that? Was that 2023? Or yeah, I think it was the end of July of 2023. Or was it 2022? I think it was 2023, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I could look, but it's neither here nor there. But then I wanted to tell, because I was a teacher. I'm a retired teacher. And I wanted to tell funny classroom stories about my life. And then it turned into stories about my life. So I took out the classroom part of my channel name. So I tell funny classroom stories. And I tell funny my life stories. I tell funny family stories. And I show things that I crochet. And I pretty much go off book in every single pattern I use now. I use the pattern as a starting point, but I don't, is that 3 of them? Yeah. I don't follow patterns very well. I'm always making adjustments. Again, I believe this is just a stitch pattern, and I decided to turn it into a cardigan. Oh my goodness, that's very tangled up. Try to show you what I don't know how I don't know what the proper way to detangle yarn is. I don't know if there is a proper way. Is there a proper way? Like, I just kind of feel around, and as you can see, this is how I do it. Feel around. Now, a lot of times, like if I was working with a 4-weight yarn, I'd just say, screw it, and I would, sorry guys. I would cut the yarn and just do a magic knot and be good with it. But blanket yarn, the fewer knots you can do, the better. So I really am trying to avoid that. I might have to put my piece through the work. We're going to see. It's all because I did not have something to contain that giant cake of yarn. And I moved my work. Yeah, I might have to, let's see. All right, I might have gotten some of it loose. Because I honestly, up until last night, so probably 3/4 of the ball, I had no problems. I did not have any detangling to do. I just whipped through the cake. It was easy peasy, but nope. Now at the end here, because I moved my work and I didn't do a better job of containing my outside end. I was center pulling, and I think my outside end got wrapped around it, I think is what happened, because I wasn't containing the yarn very well. I don't know, do they make yarn cozies big enough for a two-pound cake? I've never seen one that big. I've seen some pretty good sized ones, but have any of you ever used a yarn cozy? I have not. I would like to. I want to buy some from Bridget. Oh, hi, Lana. It's nice to see you. You can see how far I've gotten. I think you were here last night when I was only about that far. And just since I went live, I'm that far. And I need to be this far. So I still got a couple more sets to do. Like I said, I think this is a 4-row repeat. But I've mostly been yarn detangling, right? That's what you have had to endure on this live a lot. But the stitch is tagged. Camille's cardigan challenge is tagged. Yeah, okay. This panel's coming at me. Not quite like that yarn. If you want to go watch something funny, watch my shorts, where the yarn yeets itself off my winder. It's pretty hilarious. But yeah, like I said, I will definitely finish by 7, if not before 7. I might actually finish this panel. That'd be amazing. Oh, I did 2. I'm only supposed to do 1 there. Okay. And I'm playing Yarn Chicken a little bit, I think. Yeah, I'm still not positive. I might have to break into that other cake. I really don't want to, but I will if I have to. Thanks for coming in, Rosie. Leanna. Oh, Lana. Right? All right. Yes. Lana, you're another one that does a lot of different crafts, right? If I remember correctly, you do a pretty good sized list of crafts. Linda's saying hi. Linda's work is always lovely. Yep, and she's showing you how you can drop your weather so you can compare. I searched the internet for that yarn last night. Couldn't find the colorway anywhere. Oh no, the Jasper colorway. So this one? Oh, I'm so sorry. Again, this yarn is from a couple years ago. I'm so sorry. That is so sad. You know what? If I find one, if I find it, Lana, I will put it on my posts. And I will tag you in it if I come across this specific colorway, because this colorway was Jasper, right? That would be a bummer if it's not available. It's totally possible that's true, though, because this yarn is from a couple years ago. Oops, sorry. It was out of screen. Okay. And a little more detangling. It's so fun to watch, right? Not. Sorry about that. But that's all the yarn I've got left on out of that 2.2 pound cake. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't want to break into that other cake, but I will if I have to. They had that colorway that had kind of some pinks in it, right, Lana? I don't remember what that one was called, but I'll do some research too. If I find it, I will put it in my post and I will tag you in it. Because I know when you see a yarn and you just love it. I'm just loving the cover story yarn in general. It's fantastic. I have an actual knot right here. That's lovely. Again, this is my fault. This is not the yarn's fault. You know how sometimes the yarn is at fault because it had some knots and different things in it. No, this is my fault for moving it around and not containing it and letting the outside end get tangled up with the inside. So this is my bad. But this is not very much yarn left from that 2.2 cakes. But I am on the last panel. Do like my grandma used to do and have to sew it together with thread if I don't have enough yarn. Because I definitely would not want to pull yarn from a new cake to sew it together. I'll find something different, some other different kind of yarn. Looking at the mostly green ones. Okay. You're just, I did not realize that, Lana. Oh, that's fascinating. I would not have guessed that. So, how are you learning? Are you learning through YouTube tutorials? Do you have books? What's your approach? I'm always curious with the learning. Like I said, I had my foundation from my grandma when I was a kid, but then I didn't do it for 30 plus years. And that foundation was enough, but that when I went to YouTube tutorials, I figured it out. But I had my challenges. I mean, I frogged a lot of stuff because I didn't do it right. I still frog a lot of stuff because I don't do it right the first time. No, Jasper. It's yeah, okay. So the problem is if you go, okay, I'm a crochet baby. I started with, yes, okay. Okay, Bag a Day, I believe, was my first blanket. I believe it was her. And Creative Grandma, and they both just have just the most gigantic libraries of tutorials, right? You can find anything you want there. And Bot especially, like you can she gives the stitch multiples, which is helpful. This, by the way, this pattern gives the stitch multiples. So it was very easy to make it. So my front panels, oddly enough, are the same width as as far as stitches. I used a different hook size, but they're the same width as my sleeves were. They were rectangles that I sewed up because I wanted them to hang down a certain way. All right. Well, that's enough yarn to do some stuff. But yeah, that's great. Baby dress with Bod. Okay, see? Yeah. 14 years ago. Like, so when she started. So you've been watching Bod that long. That's cool, though. Again, I've only been, so Landa, to encourage you. That's I've only been really crocheting, like truly crocheting, since 2021. So, like, doing all the things. So, I want to say it was in 2022 that I really started doing all, oh, no, I forgot what row I was on. Let's try that again. I'm on the easy row, and I was going to make it hard. All right. But this stitch pattern, like this I'm going to recommend, since you said you're a beginner, I'm going to recommend, Lana, that you check out NordicHook.com because it is so incredibly step by step. I was thinking, oh my gosh, if I had this as a beginner, I would have been able to do so much more quickly because they put it in plain English and then they show you a picture of exactly what to do. I'm obviously not doing a tutorial style here at all. But it's because it's not my stitch. It's not my stitch pattern. Now, Camille is making her cardigan with her own stitch pattern. So she's doing more, it's not tutorial, but tutorial style. And I think she is going to eventually do a tutorial. You can talk, babe. I'm live, but you can talk.
I made some wings if you want some of those. There's fried rice, there's spaghetti sauce, there's chicken.
All right. I'm going to be done at about 5 minutes to 7. What time is it now? So in about 10 minutes, I'll finish up and then I will come down and eat.
Do you want the wings? Or maybe not a huge fan?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
Fried rice?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
My hubby's voice made an appearance. Me too, Rosie. Boots. The colorway. Okay, at Walmart. No Jasper though. So Jasper is only at Lion Brand. You can get it at Lion Brand, but then it's $35 for the 2-pound cake. Am I understanding you correctly, Camille? And me too. I'm really trying to learn. Yes. So I'm going to recommend NordicHook.com to you because it's not like trying to read a crochet pattern at all. It's like step-by-step instructions on how do you do this. It shows you how to chain. It shows you, it shows you every step of the process. Oh, man. Yeah, so I'm not finished, but I think I'm going to lose Yarn Chicken and I'm going to have to break into that other cake, darn it. But that's all right. Oh, I think I need one more chain. What is it that you want to make though, Lana? And more visual learning, yes. So yes, the visual learner. The Nordic Hook. I'm telling you, I was just so surprised and. So because it has a picture of each thing. It says chain 1 and then it shows you what that is. Yarn over, it shows you what that is. Like, I'm experienced enough now. I don't need that, but pattern reading wise, I'm not that experienced. So I was like, wow, this is fantastic if you're learning. So NordicHook.com. Now that's the stitch is linked, but the website is just NordicHook.com. I did not put that in the description box. But yeah, you could look around there. It looks like a lot of their stuff is free, if not all. I couldn't totally tell. I'm sure they have paid for something, or maybe there's ads. Oh, yes. Yes, that is one thing. There were ads as you were like scrolling down from step to step. It did have ads. Yeah. Yeah, y'all, I don't think I'm gonna win at Yarn Chicken here. Oh, well, it's okay. I have another one. It's not like truly losing Yarn Chicken when you're out of the yarn altogether. That's a sad day when that happens. I have had that happen. I had to adapt a pattern because so I had to use a completely different yarn on the border of a blanket that I did. Did I chain one there? Yeah, it is. Okay. I just pulled it too tight. See, that's what I do on this row. I don't know why I do that. Okay, and untangling time. Untangling time. Okay, and again, I apologize. I don't have any music in the background or anything. That'll be my next step of figuring out how to do these vertical lives. I'll get there. I'll get it all worked out eventually. My tacklet, if you're curious, my tacklet this week is going to have to be that sleeping bear because, holy mackerel, I need to get that blanket done. It's a corner-to-corner sleeping bear from a graph. I did add some design elements to it, but I might nix those for convenience. 13 till. Okay, Camille. I honestly, do they sell hooks? Oh, who are you asking if they sell hooks? Yeah, definitely check out Camille if you haven't. I don't know. I just want, Greta would love it. Maybe a blanket. Yeah. Yeah, this is so soft. But the brand is Cover Story, or the name. It's a Lion brand yarn. There are some colorways at Walmart. I think you could make a grandkid-sized sweater easily out of this. I would go simple, straightforward stitch. I don't know if you do top down or bottom up, or if you do panels. Like I'm doing this cardigan in panels because of the stitch I chose, but however you do it. I do have a tutorial on my channel where you can do a sweater literally in one panel. Like and then you just sew up like the sides. Anyway, I think it says my tutorials, but I don't know in my playlists. I will double check that at some point, but yeah, that would be ideal. That stitch that I used there, that's a Bag-A-Day stitch that I used in that tutorial. I acknowledge the stitch is not mine. I just show the way you can actually take a stitch pattern and see, that's why I didn't want, I'm off screen, I'm sorry. See, that is knotted together there. I want to avoid as many of those as possible, but that was just part of the yarn. That's inevitable. You're going to have some with this much yardage. Actually, wait, is that 2 window panes? Oh, that should be a single crochet. See, I do that almost every time too. Okay, so I'm going to do, I think I will make this my last row, and my yarn might dictate that too. Look at, this is, sorry, I banged my phone and it's mad at me. That is all I've got left, y'all. Now, considering, let's see. So how I've been counting is counting my lotus stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have to get to 6. Let me check my other panel. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 6 and then the 2 windows. So I said 4, right? Oof. Okay. Well, I will finish this row and then I will go eat dinner. And then if you all want to pop over to Camille's, that would be fantastic. But yeah, single panel, a lot of them knots. No, I've probably only seen 3 of the knots in this. In other blanket yarn, sometimes there's a lot, but I think that's only my 3rd. And as you can see, I'm almost done. So, and I could trim that. I probably will trim that a little bit, or make sure that's really tight. But yeah, I've heard some blanket yarns have lots of knots. I honestly think out of this 500 yards, I think that's the only the 3rd one that I've seen the whole entire time. Oops. I'm supposed to be doing a single crochet here. So yeah. That it's as I have heard big giant balls of the blanket yarn, which is what brand is that? Bernat. Um, sometimes has a lot of those knots. I honestly believe that's I assume is going to be the last one. And so that's 3 in 547 yards. That's not bad. For again, it's inevitable when you have this much yardage that they're going to have some knots in it, but that's pretty darn minimal, I think, considering the yardage on this. I've had more knots than that on in like regular yarn, like ice cream yarn or acrylic yarn. Granted, those knots are not quite as visible. All right. All right. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. Just kidding. 1, 2. I am almost done with this row. Again, I love that about blanket yarn. If I didn't have the tangles, I would have definitely been done with this ball of yarn. Yeah, see, it's all coming loose now. Okay, hooray. But I still think I'm going to lose it, Yarn Chicken. Pretty confident that that is a loss. Chicken 1, Lori none. That's all right. Again, it's not true Yarn Chicken because I do have another cake of it. I do not know how I would handle it if I actually didn't have more yarn if I ran out. Oops, a single. Is that right? Yeah. Made that chain a little loose. 4. Okay, so that is that row. I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know if you all do this, but if I'm going to leave my work, I put a stitch marker in there just so it can't pull through. I have cats, though, that like to mess with my stuff, so you can see I almost got there. Let's see. Let me count my lotus stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm about to do my 5th, so... but, y'all, that is all the yarn I have left. So, definitely not going to make it to my 6, but I will get the 5. So I won't have to steal too much from that other cake, but I'm still sad that I will lose that Yarn Chicken for this. That's all right. Considering that's pretty much the entire cardigan, because I just have to get, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more rows. 7 more rows and this will be done. And not 7 more lotus stitches, but I believe it's 4. I think it's a 4-row repeat. Yeah, 4-row repeat. But there's no way that's going to make 7 yards or 7 rows. Anyway, thank you so much for coming here. See you at Camille's. I am going to have pulled too much by accident. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah, check out Camille. She's going live at, well, in 3 minutes. So, yeah, you'll enjoy her. Yeah. And when we do lives together, it's always chaos, and we're silly. But she has a better camera setup, so you'll like watching her. I don't know if she's diamond painting or crocheting. I think she's crocheting because I think she's working on her cardigan. But I'm going to say goodbye, but you can see I got a lot of work done because I think I only had that much done. And we got all the way to there. And I'm probably going to get 1, maybe 2 more rows from that, which is not going to be quite enough. Thank you so much for all stopping by, and I'll see you over at Camille's in a little bit. See you later. Oh, I always forget this part. Sorry. Ugh. All right. Thank you so much. And subscribe to me and Camille and then anybody else. Linda, if you haven't dropped her, hit the vertical videos lives. Oh, sorry. Lana, I have the same problem. I'll be honest. I have the same problem. I'm gonna probably only do this maybe once a week is my verticals, if even. I maybe not even that often, but I have the same problem with vertical lives. Sorry I missed that earlier, but yes, head on over to Camille's, and I will see you all later. Thanks for coming in.